Hey, I don't like what you did. It made me very upset. No, let's try that again. Hey, I don't like what you did. It made me very upset. Same words, same meaning, but you felt the difference, didn't you?
I sure did. It felt like the first one, you were really angry at me, and I was a bit scared because I've never seen you that angry before. And the second one felt like you were still mad, but I understood, like I felt bad that I made you mad.
Yeah, that's pretty much my point. Tone. I was thinking of what to talk about in this podcast, this next episode. And I was like, maybe I could incorporate more of my writing knowledge with, the other things that I talk about. So I really want to talk about the musicality of life and also the musicality of writing, because I think they coincide kind of hand in hand.
Whoever's the owner of a white sedan, you left your lights on.
SpongeBob fan here.
Welcome to me and my imaginary friends. I'm glad you're here.
I know I said that this is, I'm going to be teaching writing, but mostly, I guess, if I step back from that language of writing, storytelling, I feel like everything we do is storytelling. I am going on a date with a person. I am storytelling myself, and it's also exchange. So I'm receiving and I'm listening and I'm also giving. I go for a job interview. That's storytelling. I create, that storytelling. I explore the world, that is storytelling. So every dynamic you encounter in life, it's a form of communication, and storytelling is a form of communication. As a writer, I feel, or I believe, that if you are able to understand life a bit better, you're able to storytell a bit better. Yes, I don't think we can ever fully understand life. In my first episode, I talked about exploring questions more than finding answers. So it's okay not to know. It's okay to sit in the confusion, in the lack of clarity, because chasing that question, or I guess sitting in the question, actually gives you, ironically, the clarity you need. And the funny thing about life is that once you become a master of one thing, you become a student of the next. And we're forever going to be students. So put your student hat on, because I'm about to teach. Life is not meant to be understood. I've said that.
If life is not meant to be understood, then what is it meant to be or do?
It's meant to be felt. It's meant to be experienced. It's meant to be heard and tasted and touched. And as a creative, creativity is an alchemy that allows a person to physically connect to one's soul. It takes what's invisible inside all of us and molds it and shapes it into something physical, tangible. I truly think people should practice art, whatever that may be: writing, painting, dancing, singing, tennis, cosplaying, cooking, baking, gardening, building, construction, clay molding, pottery. Oh, the things yet untapped, waiting to be illuminated through art. I can't describe the clarity of voice and of self that is birthed through the ordinary practice of art. So let's go back to the topic that I mentioned, the musicality of life. Life is so musical. We sleep, we wake up, rise and fall. We're mad, we're joyful, we sit in the mundane. We're excited, we're eager, we're quiet. Our daily existence is all very musical. The ebbs and flows of life, the ups and downs, the rise and fall of living mimics the symphony of an orchestra. They are verses, our choruses, our major and minor keys. Even in the smallest scale, music is there. In string theory, we find vibration at the very heart of matter. Tiny oscillations of energy vibrating to form the building blocks of the universe. Everything is vibration, everything is sound, everything is a continuous symphony, everything is alive. I am a writer, I am a storyteller. I like to think I can sing. One day I might sing for you guys. I don't know. We'll see. But more than anything, I am a listener. In writing or in storytelling, we talk about pacing, we talk about tone, we talk about sequence, we talk about beats, we talk about, structural beats, emotional beats, story beats. We talk about rhythm. But do you notice what they all kind of sound like?
Oh, I know. They all sound like music.
Yeah. Yes. Blushy. You're so smart. I love it. They all sound like music. Because it is music. And not just in like a symbolic way, like quite literally. Every sentence is a rhythm. Every line is a beat. Every silence between the words is music. Writing isn't just the way we say things, it's how it sounds, how it reads, how it moves, how the silence in between tells us something, the subtext, how the words create music and rhythm and tone and beat and pacing and sequence and, you know what I mean? You catching my drift? So we don't just tell a story. We make people feel it. And our job as writers is not just to tell the story, but to conduct with the tools we have a symphony. And that's really at the heart of storytelling. Because it's not the story. I feel like every story is a good story. There is no story that is bad. Let's just start there. There is no story that's bad. Every story is a good story. What makes or break it is, how did you tell that story? How did you sing the story to me? How musical was it? And obviously we talk about genre and all of that, influences, I guess, how we tell a story. If the tone is dark, we're evoking a kind of emotion, suspense, dread, fear, sorrow, grief. If it's light, we're evoking a different kind of emotion, joy, happiness, pleasure, summer's day, ice cream. Ice cream. What? Just as a composer uses major and minor keys to evoke a certain kind of emotion, we shape emotional resonance through the tonal choices of our words. And they aren't just technical tools, they are our emotional instruments. I recently got covered in an article called Bold Journey, and I'm just pulling it up. And one of the questions that they had asked me was, what important truth do very few people agree with you on? I'm going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to piece out something there. So I said that we all have God within us. Call it light, call it power, call it spirit, whatever your belief system names it. Most people look for God outside of themselves, but I believe the real work of life is discovering that divinity within and using our passion as the vehicle to express it. Like, I genuinely believe we are much greater than we imagine. The power of the mind alone can allow us to accomplish things we once thought were impossible. Every single one of us has the ability to change our reality for the better. But the perpetual distractions all around us keep us in this limited state of being, which should cover that in another episode. You can find evidence of this truth explored across medicine, science, religion, and art. I feel like, in a way, that is the purpose of our existence, to find the God within us, the light, and let our passion be the vehicle through which we discover it and illuminates the light in others. Why is this an important truth? Well, as cliche as this question is, imagine there was nothing in this world that could stop you. What wouldn't you do? Imagining it and knowing it is imagining it. Bro. Imagining it. I don't think I'm saying that right. Imagining it. Okay. I'm just going to pretend that I'm saying it right. Imagining it and knowing it as a fact is the line we have to cross. Once we cross it, our entire perspective on life shifts. Okay, now this is the part that I was trying to pull from this whole conversation about emotional instruments, music being our emotional instrument, or tonal choices being our emotional instruments. As an artist, I live inside this belief. We are drivers of emotion, and emotion is the language of the soul. If we're able to use our art to tap into that power, our light, our God within, then through that same art, we can speak directly to the souls of our audience, our readers, our viewers. And if that isn't a glimpse of the power we hold, I don't know what is. You should read the article, by the way. It's in my Instagram bio. And I'll probably put it in the description. It's a cool article. Talk about a lot of things. But I digress. So going back to music and the emotional, how it's an emotional tool. If you are a creative, you create work, I think, for two things. Maybe there's a third, and it might come to me when I speak. But you create work to express or to discover. Maybe the third could be connect, but I think that is a product of expression or discovering. And in that is where we connect, right, with our readers, viewers, audience. And that connection is an invisible thread that we call emotion. I watch a movie, I read a book, I feel elated. Oh my God, that was so good. I loved it. Or, dang, that made me think. Or that made me sad. You know? And when you're done absorbing that content, a lot of the times we get so bogged down on the details. Oh my gosh, the eye line, is it good? Being in filmmaking school, is the eye line good? Oh, don't cross over. You have to make sure. Continuity, all that. I mean, it's great. Suspended disbelief, whatever, suspense of disbelief, you guys, I can't speak today, clearly. What was I going again? Brain fart. What was I saying? Suspended disbelief. Disbelief of what? That's interesting. I've just lost my train of thought. Oh, we get bogged down on the details. If someone consumes your work, I'm telling you right now, if there's anything you don't take from this, is that I promise you, in the next 10 years, what sticks with them is the emotion they felt coming out of it. They don't care who the husband or the boyfriend or the wife or the sister or the dog. Those are elements that build, creates the emotion, the emotion you want to pull out of a viewer. But what they would remember is how it made them feel. Did it make me think? Did it make me be introspective? Did it make me excited about life again? Excited about filmmaking? Did it make me sad and scared? That is how we literally, that's the language of the soul. And so we have a very massive tool in our hands to really speak to people. And once you can understand that life is music, writing is music. In life, major and minor keys exist. The very start of this video, I was telling you, I'm not mad at you, first of all. Why? How dare I be mad at you? I'm not mad at you. I appreciate you so much for even sitting down here or wherever you are and just listening to me yap away. I genuinely appreciate you. So I'm not mad. It was an exercise. But yeah, so I said, I'm mad at you, yada, 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 whatever I said. I said it two ways. I said it curt and sharp and fast. And then I said it softer and slower. And I had allowed myself silence in between. And they will evoke a different emotion to the person receiving it because of tone, because of pacing, because of rhythm, because of amplitude, because of I don't know, eye contact maybe, but because of all the things that create the musicality of what I said. It's the same message, same exact words, but different delivery. And honestly, you don't have to be a writer to really receive what I'm saying, because it applies to life. Again, I as a creative, we really have to be more intentional about understanding, not finding answers, but understanding life. Because if the stories we tell, however fictional or abstract, mimics life, then music is a vital part of how we tell that story. It's embedded in everything. Everything is vibration. Everything is sound. Everything is alive. Everything is music. And when the music stops, when there's no longer vibration, sound, no longer a physical, tangible sound, there's death, the silence after the final note, the death of form, but not necessarily the end of a story. Because you see, stories, like music, outlives the instrument, the writer, author, filmmaker, creative. So really allowing ourselves to be students of life and creators of art. I annoy myself sometimes. It's because what was that? Bruh. Okay, I digress. I be digressing. So, writing, we all know, is about listening, is about feeling, is about the silence in between. Oh, the silence in between. In between. That, the white spaces between your words is so powerful. I think it's so underrated, but it's such a powerful tool when you storytell. The most powerful words in storytelling are the ones you don't write. That's a quote by Toni Morrison. If that isn't the truth, I don't know what is. Again, this applies to writing, sure, but it applies to life. There is a sonic nature in stories that is so much neglected when we are building stories. And if we can learn to listen before we write, we would be able not to just tell good stories, but we'll be able to tell stories that resonate. So I said a whole bunch of many things, and I hope you at least got something out of that, because I enjoyed talking about it, the musicality of life. If you watch this on YouTube, please subscribe and put on the notification so you can get things when I upload. And so I don't know if you if you can do notifications on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but if you can do that, then also do that.
Silly Chelsea over here kept on yapping and yapping and yapping that this has to be 2 parts. So this is the first part, and she will upload the second part, musicality of life, in the next episode. She forgot to mention that, and that's why I'm here, to be a friend.
Thank you for spending time with me and my imaginary friends. Until the next episode. Good morning.
Good morning.